Well, happy Tuesday and Merry Christmas. It is Tuesday, December the 17th, the 352nd day of the year, and there are 14 days left in the year 2024, and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Tom. And it's hard to believe we're only 8 days away from Christmas and 14 days away from a brand new year. It's been a good year for us at TWT, and we hope it has been equally good or better yet, a great year for you and yours. We at TWT wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, or whatever and however you celebrate your holidays. Also want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that stuff to Anthony Tedeschi and his wife, Laurie Luke Loman, Antley, and President Chris Roberts and his wife Tracy, who sent us all nice Christmas wishes. Just a reminder, we will not be on next Tuesday, the 24th, as we will take our annual Christmas break and be back with you again on Tuesday, the 31st, for our recap of the year 2024. Also, we want to apologize again for the hiccup on last week's show and the sound issues we had. But our last week's guest, film director and editor Barry Brown, he hit it out of the park with his insight to film editing and his collaborations with film director Spike Lee. He also sent me a nice note after, and he said he was a little long in some of his answers, but hey, we enjoyed it. So thank you, Barry. Our G-list guest today is, you guessed it, it's Santa Claus. He's coming to town. We hope you've all been good boys and girls, because Santa himself will be our G-list guest this morning. We'll swap holiday memories, share a few laughs, spread some festive cheer. Santa is our final guest of the year. Don't forget, you can tune in live on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. We look forward to our visit with and that conversation with jolly old St. Nick. Our show today, of course, is brought to you by the Best Girl Consulting Firm. So let's hear from Best Girl.
Best Girl is a consulting firm that provides customized leadership, access and inclusion, public relations, communications, and organizational consulting services. Clients include Fortune 500 companies, utilities, higher education institutions, small businesses, and associations. Best Girl's team of consultants, led by Joyce Gilly-Gossam, Emily Hedrick, and Sean Jones, partners with business and education clients to promote organizational effectiveness, communication, motivation, and leadership, with always an impact on the bottom line. Best Girl's customized consulting services include strategic planning, corporate communication, executive coaching, fundraising, and economic development.
Best Girl customizes the solution that fits your needs. So let's go to the round table and see what Barbara Wallace Edwards and Michael Walker have for us this morning. Good morning, Barbara Wallace Edwards. How are you?
Good morning, Tom. I'm doing okay this morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's going on in your world?
Well, Tom, I want to first start by sending condolences to the Williams family. As you all know, Chet Williams, who served as the chaplain for the Auburn University football team and director of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Auburn, tragically passed away on Sunday night due to a freak accident. Basically, was trying to get back on his boat after visiting a restaurant there in the local area, stepped on one foot on the boat, one foot on the dock, lost his balance and fell into the water and actually drowned on Sunday evening. Total shock to everyone. Of course, his family is in total grief right now. And his son passed away, Chet Jr. passed away back in 2019. And then to be dealing with this right now is taking a toll on the family. And I pray for our Auburn family as well. Again, he was a father figure and mentor to so many of those athletes at Auburn, and several of them posted tributes to him on Facebook since Sunday, and it's just a tragic loss. Yeah.
All right. Michael Walker, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, TG. How are you this morning? Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning.
Yeah, doing well. That is certainly some sad and tragic news about the chaplain of Auburn, and I too wish to offer my condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the Williams family.
Yes.
Very much
You
so.
know, it's kind of, this is the holiday season and everybody's trying to get into a festive mood, and it's
Right.
kind of, you know, I don't know what to say the quite words for it, but you have all these different tragedies happening at the same
Yes.
time. There
Yes.
was another school shooting in Wisconsin yesterday,
I
this
saw
time
that,
by a
Michael.
15 or 16-year-old girl.
A girl
That,
shot some people.
Yes.
yes,
Yes. And
yes,
it's a private Christian school. Is that correct,
Yes.
yes, it
Michael?
was. Yes, a private Christian school. And
The girl was like 15 or so, right?
15 years
yes,
old.
15
Have,
years old.
have they determined the motive, Michael?
No, they're still trying to determine what the motive was, you know. And I think a
I
teacher
don't know if the
was,
motive counts anymore.
It doesn't. You're right, Tom. It doesn't matter.
Go out and just shoot people, man.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
Wow.
I
yeah,
can't believe it was a girl, but then maybe that's just where I am. I'm lost in space somewhere.
Well, that's highly unusual. I mean, you don't see very many females involved in mass shootings like that. So just never know what triggers them.
yeah, yeah,
I tell you what would be very difficult, at least for me, is to be the parent of a child who goes out and kills people.
Right. Right.
Man, that'd be because you have to feel like you did something wrong.
Absolutely. Where did you go wrong? I'm sure the parents have the tough time trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently to maybe make my child think in a different way, handle things in a different way.
Well, I was about to say, back in the day, parent would say, "Well, what the hell wrong with you?"
Right. They knocked some sense into us before we got to that point.
It ain't like that no more.
No.
you reminded me of something, Tom. You and Barbara both. Barbara say they knock some sense into you.
Mm-hmm.
Tom say they say, "What the hell wrong with you?" But that is true. I remember a story about our next door neighbor. The child was acting up, and so the mom tried to get on, and child said, "I'm gonna call the police on you." The mom said, "Go ahead, you better go ahead and call them, because you're gonna need them when I get through with you."
But and they make guns so easily accessible for the kids these days. That's another thing too. But I remember growing up in a house. My dad was a hunter, so he had rifles. He had guns in the house. We knew where they were. They were visible. We could see them, but we knew not to touch them. We knew that they were off limits to us. And no, even my brothers never tried to touch it, look at it. Certainly not going to take it off that wall, because we knew there were consequences to that. And
Yeah.
today the kids are just different.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it got to, and I think a part of it is just what I talked about, where cops and authorities got to the situation where they want to charge the parent with child abuse when it really was not child abuse.
Right.
Because there was far more discipline and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And we got away from that. And
Right.
now the kids feel like they're empowered and emboldened to do whatever they want to do. And they will, kids are pretty smart, and so they know how to manipulate situations.
Right.
And it kind of reminds me the situation when my son was going through his issues and he was acting up in school, and the vice principal called me and asked me to come over to the school. He said, "It'd be great if you come over here, Mr. Walker. We'd love to have you." So I showed up, and it's funny. When we grew up, you got sent to detention hall,
Right.
well, now they call it after school suspension. That's politically correct. Well, my son got kicked out of after school suspension.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
And that's why the vice principal called me, So
at that point, if you're kicked out of after school detention, you end up just staying at home. You have to go home. Or
well, I don't know. We kind of fixed that problem while I was there.
Okay. You never got to that point.
No, it was funny though. But I saw how calculating my son was at that time, because he felt like the way I carry myself, I wouldn't throw down on him in school, in public like that. So he tried me, and he even tried me when the police officer was there. And I snatched him up and slammed him into the wall, and he said, "Get him off of me. He got anger management problems."
No, you didn't have anger management problems. You were just being a parent.
Yeah. And the cop told him, "Michael, sit down." So he realized that cop thing wasn't going to work on me.
Right.
No, man.
Yeah,
But
like ours, who he'd make A's in Japanese and F's in English. Like, I can make an A in Japanese and an F in English. I don't like that English teacher. The English teacher already got her education.
Right.
I just told one about you, buddy. He just put something in the message said, "I'm waiting for you to tell a story about me." In that Japanese. I'll tell you guys one about myself. I don't know. I was going to ask you guys about funny Christmas stories, but man, I loved Zorro. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yes, I remember Zorro. Yes.
He always made the sign of the Z.
Yes.
Whatever. And so, man, I loved Zorro. And I went to bed one night, and everybody went to bed. I was little. And I went in there, and I got a butcher knife, and I carved a big Z in our front door. And so when I heard my parents, when they got up, and they were in there looking at it, and I acted like I was asleep. They were looking at the big Z or whatever. And I got up and I went in there and I said, "Zorro's been here." And people say, "Well, what happened?" I said, "Well, Zorro never came back."
No, your parents showed up to make sure Zorro never came back.
Hey guys, with Christmas coming up, what's your favorite dish for Christmas?
Who asked me or Barb?
Both of you.
Oh, go ahead, Barb.
Well, my family now, that we normally don't do traditional dinner for Christmas because we've just had it for Thanksgiving. So we usually do some type of seafood or something, or steaks or something. So my favorite dish is probably seafood gumbo because we do the gumbo and seafood dishes now.
Okay. Tom, what about you?
I don't know. I'm kind of like Barbara. We kind of do it differently now than we did growing up.
Right.
Growing up, you had a hodgepodge of food.
Right.
Different types of food and so on and so forth. And, matter of fact, we're not even having a big get together this year. I got you, man. I love you too. He's sending me notes. So I don't know. I guess I tell you, growing up, man, we'd have so much food, and one of the things we always had was homemade ice cream for dessert.
Oh,
me and my dad.
On Christmas.
Yeah. Me and my dad go out there, and we'd have to either the hand crank machine, and then we graduated to a regular one, and man, shoot, that was great.
That was good stuff, huh?
And my mom would always make a chocolate cake.
Okay. Well, it was the reason why I asked you that question. One of our guests said oyster stew, but in Japan, people eat KFC on Christmas Day. Many Japanese families order Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas Day, and it became a tradition in Japan when KFC had an ad campaign in the 70s.
Wow.
I think I read about that a while back. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I
don't eat KFC.
I was going to say, I don't eat KFC on a regular day. I certainly don't want it on Christmas. So.
Although I did go get some Popeyes the other day.
Okay. Yeah. KFC would be my last choice for fried chicken, I think. Nothing against KFC, just not my preference. But no. When growing up though, Michael, my mom, she was a great cook. And so, we always had the traditional turkey dressing, ham, and we
Yeah.
have turkey and chicken a lot, but ham we didn't have too often. So I guess ham, and then my mom also would bake she'd ask all of us what our favorite cake was. And of course, after a while she knew, but she would bake all of us our favorite cake. So there were cakes spread all over the pies.
Yeah.
My favorite was German chocolate cake. And so I love that too. That was
And my
Wow.
favorite was
Delicious.
chocolate cake with pecans in it.
Oh, okay.
That was my birthday cake.
Okay. Yes.
And
Okay.
her last year living, she couldn't do it for my birthday in January because she was really sick.
Right.
And she got up enough strength to do it like in around March or April. And that was my last cake that she was able to make.
Did she put the pecans on top and the icing, Tom, or was it in the cake itself?
In the cake itself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, I
Some
bet
of the
that was
homemade
awesome.
vanilla ice cream. And oh my goodness, it was great. You know?
Yeah.
Bringing back some great memories.
I was
Yeah.
always my dad's helper on all the projects around the house. You know?
Right.
I wasn't much of a helper, but he would make me go over there and get this right there. Go get this. It's like, okay.
You had great moral support for him anyway, and his hands and feet.
When he got to the part where he says, "Boy, do this," it's like, okay, I better go do this.
Better go do it. Let me ask you guys this question. Was Rudolph a male reindeer or female reindeer?
I
Never thought about it, Michael. As long as he was leading that sleigh, I didn't care whether he was male or female.
Well, you just assumed that he was a male. You said as long as he was.
With the name Rudolph, you would think he's a male.
Well, according to Fun Facts in Christmas, they say Santa's reindeer were all female,
Really?
including Rudolph. And the reason why they say that is male reindeer lose their antlers in the winter, but females keep theirs. Since Santa's reindeer have antlers, they are likely all female, including Rudolph.
Well, we're going to have to ask Santa about that. I'm going to say Santa chose females because they were the smartest, and the male will probably be arguing about which direction they need to go in, and or not ask direction. They just go the wrong way. They didn't check a GPS. They didn't ask anybody for directions. They just go the wrong way. So we'll have to ask Santa about that.
We're asked Santa about that. There's another one about Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas. Do you know how many gifts are in that song?
No.
364. One for every day of the year except for Christmas.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, you did your homework.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. Every once in a while, I try to put something up here.
Good deal.
And this one will make both of you all proud, as well as myself. Alabama. Tom always say, thank God for Mississippi. Being from Alabama, we don't be in last. Well, we were in first place. Alabama was the first U.S. state to recognize Christmas in 1836.
Wow.
Alabama was first, huh?
Yes. And Christmas became a federal holiday in 1870. So Bama was way out in front.
Well, yeah, way out front. That's good. That's something to cheer about. We need some things to be happy about.
Yes. We can always talk about that. If it wasn't for Alabama, y'all wouldn't have Christmas in the U.S.
That's a good one, man.
That is.
And I tell you, most of the people in the chat thought that Rudolph was male.
Yeah. But, well, the name, of course, you would think about. That's why I never even had given it a thought, I guess. Because with his name being Rudolph, you just assume he's a male.
Yeah, you automatically assume that,
Right.
I would think so too. Rudolph sounds like a
male name. Right.
A male name, but
I was too busy caught up with Zorro. I knew what Zorro was.
Did you have the costume too, Tom? With the mask and everything? With the cake?
I will tell you this. When one Christmas, man, when I was growing up, I loved the Baltimore Colts. You know, they were the
Yes.
Unitas and all those guys. That was my team.
Right.
So I told my folks one year, what do you want for Christmas? I want a Baltimore Colts uniform. That's what I want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a uniform, but it wasn't the Baltimore Colts. And now looking back, I figured, well, you know, in Birmingham,
It's hard to find that.
yeah, and there was so much University of Alabama references to things.
Right,
You know?
right.
So what I ended up with was a Green Bay Packer uniform. And I didn't know what that was. So I asked I said, well, what's this G stand for on the helmet?
Gossam.
That's for Gossam.
Your parents were so smart. You had your own personal uniform. I love it.
I did.
I love it.
Yeah, I did, man. It was great. Any other Christmas stories?
Well, one is Jingle Bell was originally written for Thanksgiving, is when it was written for.
Really?
Not Christmas. Yes, that's a fact. That's what it was originally for. And We Wish You a Merry Christmas was about food. The song was originally sung by carolers in England who would visit homes asking for fig pudding, a traditional holiday dessert, as a reward for singing.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people know this, is that the colors of Christmas are green, red, and gold. Those are the main colors. And the meaning behind it is green is for life. The red is the blood of Christ, and gold is for wealth and stuff, success, which makes sense. You always kind of have a feeling like that sometime around Christmas, not so much as wealth, but things are going to be on the uptick, you know, sometime. If you can get in the Christmas spirit, it kind of lighten your moods and kind of give you a optimistic view that, you know, things will get better.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's true because, you know, you got the bell ringers outside all the stores and stuff, and you got people you don't know, and you just pass by them and they wish you a Merry Christmas, you know,
Right.
and it's a more positive thing. And that's why when we were talking about Brother Chet, that's why that was such a tough thing, because it's Christmas season. And, you just want it to be a good time for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. And the last thing I mentioned, you know, we have to be watching out for scammers. Somebody tried to scam me this morning. I received a text with a picture of Georgia Peach Pass and the tollway saying your recent journey on the toll pass resulted in a $3 fine. Please take care of this before it turns into $30.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, Michael.
I haven't even been on the toll road.
They don't give up, do they? These scammers are relentless.
They are.
Try any and everything.
They really are.
Yes.
And what they do now is they do this thing. They'll say that you took some action,
right,
and that action has resulted in such and such and such and such that you need to take care of.
I've been getting this email from this supposedly a law firm saying that they're glad that I chose them to handle my case, file against this company that I don't even know about, never heard of them before. And if I could just fill out this form and provide all my contact information and personal information, that they'll start working on the case. I was like, I don't know who you are. I just delete and they'll send another one 2 days later. So like, let me just block these people. I don't know who they are.
What I've done, I started doing on the ones who call is, and I for some reason I was getting a lot of them from California. And, you know, when you get that little boop, you know it's one of them.
Yes.
So when I get boop, I hang up.
Yes.
And that has cut it back drastically,
right.
man. Because if you try to talk to them, they just try to talk over you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I'm like you, Tom. I hang up and then I immediately block that number. Of course, they got a million numbers they can call you from. So
they do.
Call back. So call back from a different number. But keep blocking them.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. Okay, anything else from you guys? All right, well, let's go to Sean. She's got a minute for us on this Christmas. I was going to say Christmas Eve, but it's not Christmas Eve. But
It's our Christmas Eve show.
Yeah, there you go. Sean, you out there?
Good morning to everyone joining in with us. My name is Shantia Jones, and this has Got a Minute. The holiday season is live and in full effect. I'm excited to bake cookies, build a gingerbread train, and spike the cider. I love this time of the year because our team gets to wind down, reset, and enjoy those who enjoy us, which is why I hope you enjoy my end of the year. Did you knows? Now, did you know that the busiest shopping days of the year are the two just before Christmas, or that 1 in 3 men wait until Christmas Eve to do their holiday shopping? Or how about the original location of the 1947 movie Miracle on 34th Street was the New York Macy's in Herald Square? Ever heard of Tots for Toys? Well, did you know that it was founded in Los Angeles, California in 1947, and the first donation was a handmade doll, and more than 5,000 toys were collected during the first drive? No? Well, now you do. Now, before I go, I'd like to say happy holidays to you all, and I hope you all have an awesome new year. Thank you all for joining in. My name is Shantia Jones, and this has Got a Minute.
All right. One Christmas I went over to one of my friend's house, and he had bought. Santa Claus was bringing his daughter a kitchen set. The fake stove and stuff and all that. And we put that thing together. And after we put it together, we had all these parts left, and it was already. It's like, well, what do we do with these? Well, we'll figure it out later. She'll be all right for the first couple of days. Then stuff will start breaking down, and we'll have to come back and redo it. Okay, I got it. Let's see, who do we got here? We got Hollywood's got the A list, and here on Tuesdays with Tom, we have the G list. And our G list guest today is Santa Claus, Nathaniel Rutledge. His trip he got here, came in from the North Pole. I think he got here sometime this morning. And we're looking forward to that conversation. Good morning, Santa. How are you?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas to all of you. All is well. Good to see you there, Tom. Hey there, Michael, and the beautiful Barbara.
Good
How
morning,
are you guys
Santa.
today?
We're glad to see you, Santa. Bring us some Christmas cheer.
Absolutely. So glad we're here. It's
That's
a
right.
jolly good time of the year.
All right. So, Santa, how was your year?
Oh, my year has been absolutely stupendous. Such a wonderful year, wonderful people, wonderful time shared with all.
Okay. Barbara, you got anything for Santa?
I do. First, I want to congratulate Santa. He is now Dr. Santa. I want to congratulate you, Santa, on receiving that PhD. I heard you have been coming back from the North Pole on a regular basis and working on that PhD. And tell us about that.
Ho, 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 ho. Oh, how wonderful it has been. Such a journey getting to this time of completion and Santa walking across the stage and being hooded with his educational doctorate, not doctorate in philosophy.
Okay.
Studying in educational leadership and trying to do his best to make a difference in this world. So Santa's been excited. It was a long time coming. There were some cold nights in the North Pole as we tried to study and get ready. But finally, a bright day came and we got it all completed. So thank you.
Congratulations.
Great deal, man. Great deal. Michael, you got a question for Santa?
Yes. Santa, they talk about inflation and everything, and I want to congratulate you on getting your degree there. But I noticed most recently, are you about to sell your cabin, your house at the North Pole is on Zillow, and it's listed at $1.8 million.
Santa, are you moving south? Tell us about it.
Talk about scammers. People who will try to sell anything. The North Pole isn't going anywhere. We've been there for long over 2,000 years. Our family has put its foot down and we're not going anywhere. It's amazing what you'll find on the internet. However, if you'd like to make a down payment on it, dial 1-800 Santa will take it and send it on to me.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful photo of your cabin up there, but I mean, for $1 million at the North Pole, Santa, you must have put a lot of work into that cabin, man.
No, $1 million would be cheap. Santa is worth far, far more, able to take care of all the wishes of the little boys and girls.
I was gonna say, Santa need all that money. He's got a lot of kids to take care of.
Mm-hmm. That's right, and especially you guys. Appreciate all of the facts and knowledge that we heard today from little Michael. Michael has been studying. He's a star student. I bet there's a gold star next to your name in class. What an awesome job you have done in sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Santa, let me ask you something. I know something that's really close to your heart. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with the Salvation Army?
Yes, I've always loved and supported the efforts of the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army does the most good. This year, Santa took a little bit of a detour and got involved in some fraternity work in raising money for shoes and coats for underprivileged children. And so this year, Santa's been more involved with that than Salvation Army, but the Salvation Army efforts are still needed. People who do whatever they can for whomever they can, however they can, and as much as they can. So we're going to continue to support the Salvation Army as well as the Phi Beta Sigma shoes for kids and coats for kids.
Awesome.
Great, Santa.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara, Michael?
Santa, Michael mentioned something about, the reindeer being all female. Tell us, how did you come across that thought to just use female reindeer instead of male?
Well, let's make one slight correction to little
Okay.
Michael. And that is that Rudolph was indeed a male.
Okay.
Rudolph was a male. What a lot of people don't know is male deer grow their antlers up until the time they mate. And after they have mated, then they shed their antlers.
I see.
Little Rudolph had not yet mated.
I got you.
So
So he was
he
indeed.
had his young antlers. Absolutely. Rudolph was a male, but it's absolutely correct. The big antlers that we see and that we hear about and see mounted are typically of female.
Okay. Sounds good. Michael, go ahead.
Santa, I always wondered, because I know you deliver gifts to all the little boys and girls all over the world, but and we are accustomed seeing you with your beard and your Christmas attire and everything. When you go down to South America and below the equator, where it's a little bit hot, what type of uniform do you wear down there?
Oh, Santa adjusts to the seasons. You're very, very smart, Michael. Santa has a Hawaiian shirt. When he go to the tropics, Santa takes off his shirt and just wears suspenders below the equator. I've got some Bermuda shorts with some high top red socks. Whatever it is for wherever it is, Santa always makes the adjustment and does whatever he needs to do. But traditionally, by the time we get to this season of the year And most of the late work of riding our sleigh and delivering all of our gifts, it gets a bit chilly on that sleigh. And that's why we wear the traditional full uniform at that time.
Awesome.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead, Barbara. You got something to say?
I do. And Santa, I know you've been doing this for over 2,000 years now. And so, whenever you start on your route, I mean, do your reindeer just know exactly where to go? Is Rudolph leading them and deciding where to go first, or are you directing them, telling them where to go? And how do you decide where you start?
You never have to direct them anymore. They have done it so much, so often, to so many places. They just know where to go. And Santa is in with technology. So don't forget, we've got our own GPS system, and it will make sure that no kid is missed, that everybody receives a visit from Santa, regardless of where they live, how they live, and what part of the country they live in.
Wow.
So Santa's able to get there, and he has the best of technology to make sure that no person is left without a Christmas gift.
That's awesome, Santa. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, Santa, speaking of technology and the way things have changed, I know you used to come down the chimney and sneak in and leave gifts and stuff, but
And
nowadays,
And eat cookies. That's right.
and
cookies.
eat
Drink
cookies and
milk.
drink milk. But nowadays, with all this technology and what have you, and watching for predators and everything, how do you get around the security and stuff? And how do you get in the house now, especially if they don't have a chimney anymore?
Absolutely. Well, do you remember watching the old show, The Year Without a Santa Claus? The year when Santa had to be ingenious and think of different ways to take care of all of the Christmas wishes. These days, Santa's able to use whatever is available to get wherever he needs to go to take care of the little boys and girls. So, yes, you're correct. Every person with a jolly old elf suit doesn't belong in your house. So we have to be very, very careful about where we go and how we go and how we enter and get out. As parents get older, they learn more and more about the secrets of Santa. And so we work out a plan to make sure that all of the children are taken care of and no surprises show up around the Christmas tree, those that you don't want. So Santa just does exactly what's needed. He adjusts and overcome.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Barbara?
Santa, I'm noticing all of the beautiful decorations behind you there. Looks like Mrs. Claus has been really busy and getting the house all ready for Christmas.
Absolutely. Mrs. Claus began, about a week before Veterans Day,
Okay.
getting ready for Christmas. She absolutely loves the holiday season. Plus, it's her birthday season. So she's extremely excited, getting ready to celebrate tomorrow. So Christmas is a natural part of her birthday celebration.
Right.
So yes, ma'am, I'll be sure to share with her that you appreciated and were impressed by her decorations, because she is nonstop, and I think every day she adds something else.
Well, tell her she did an excellent job and happy birthday to her as well.
Absolutely. I will share that. Absolutely. Yes, yes. I heard you guys talking about your favorite dishes and your favorite cakes. Well, Santa, only during Christmas, Santa wants a red velvet cake. However, it can't be made from a box. It must be made from scratch with pure cocoa. You must use Philadelphia cream cheese and absolutely fresh pecans on top, inside, and all around.
We love it, Santa. That's right.
That is fantastic. Well, Santa, I know how it can be you away from home a lot and stuff, and there's a lot of rumors and innuendos. And I wonder, how did you soft things over with Mrs. Claus when, Michael Jackson made that song, I Saw Mama Kissing Santa Under the Christmas Tree and
Absolutely.
stuff. And that song hit the airways. Did you get in trouble with Mrs. Claus?
Well, not as much with I Saw Santa Kiss Mama Kissing Santa Claus as we did Backdoor Santa. It was kind of tough hearing all of the remarks that came along with that. But Mrs. Claus and I got an understanding when we first met. She has all kinds of friends, and Santa has all kinds of friends, but we know that we belong to one another. So we don't worry about what others have to say. We just make sure we come home to play.
I love it.
Good. Speaking of songs, you got a song for us this morning?
Certainly, always have a song for the little boys and girls. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake.
Hey.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Hey, that was awesome, Santa.
That was great, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can always count on you getting us into the Christmas spirit, Santa.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right.
This time of season, which should be joyous to all, can be tough on many of us.
Yes.
As I heard you share about our good and great friend Chet, it's so easy to be sad because our dear friend is not with us.
Right.
But we should choose joy as much as we can as we remember the good times. Remember the moments that we shared, the things that made life together so special.
Yes.
That's what we try our best to dwell on. We can't forget the issues that we have around us, but we can choose joy and be able to share it one with another.
Yes. Thank you, Santa.
That's great. That's great.
Santa,
Go ahead.
Santa, I have a question. You're always taking care of everyone, making sure everyone always gets what's on their Christmas list wish. What about you? What are you asking for this year for Christmas?
Well, can I tell you a secret?
Yes, please.
Santa wants this year to go to Ross Bridge Spa. Santa wants a full manicure, pedicure, back rub, and massage. To sit in the warm waters and let them ripple all around it. Santa just wants a day of just self-care, to take care of himself for just that day and then return back to the business of delivering the next day.
That's pretty good, Santa.
That's what Santa's wish is for this year materialistically.
That's a good wish list. Yes.
Yeah.
I already got my plans for that. So.
All right.
Good for you, Tom.
I'm looking forward to
see if they have a special when you.
I will.
Maybe a
special.
Yes.
There you go. Anything else from anybody?
Yes, Santa, a couple things. I'd like to know, what song do you listen to get pumped up, to get ready, get yourself psyched up, and get in the moment for delivering gifts? You see athletes walking around with their headphones on and stuff. And I remember back in the day when I used to play, we used to come up with songs to get pumped up. So what's your favorite song you use for, and it doesn't have to be a Christmas song, but if it is, I'd like to know what that is. What do you use to get pumped up to deliver these gifts?
Actually, it may seem odd, but the song that pumps up Santa the most is actually not a pumped up song. It is The First Noel. It's the song that Santa dwells on when he thinks about the true meaning of the Christmas season, why it should be celebrated well beyond the gifts that we will share and the gifts that we will receive. That the world received the ultimate gift, and that gift is encompassed in the song The First Noel.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
deal, Santa. Good deal. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I want to ask Santa about just what are your goals for next year? When do you start making plans for next year's, getting gifts ready? I know the elves are busy probably all year long, but hopefully they get some time off during Christmas. But when do you get started for next year's gifts?
Santa actually never stops. You see, Barbara, service is a non-stop business.
Yes.
You do what you have to do as often as you can, every single day, and you
Yes.
try to make a purposeful difference. Santa realizes that, so all year long, through the Christmas season, all the way up to the next Christmas season, looking for, searching for, listening for opportunities to make a difference and to be of service. Service is the true love that we give. And so it never, ever ends. And when we do the things that we enjoy most, it's never work. It's always a joy to be able to do it.
Yes. That's
Sounds
awesome.
good.
Thank you,
Sounds
Santa.
good. I got a few things over here in the chat that we're going to read. Anthony wants to know if you can bring Cam Newton some nice suits for Christmas.
Young Cameron Newton has his own style.
Yes,
And I
he
think
does.
if we
Yes, he
started
does.
buying his clothes off the shelf, we may not recognize him anymore.
Well, I'm glad he's getting the exposure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I saw him
And
at
he knows
he attended the Heisman ceremony last
He
week, and he
did.
hadn't been since he actually won. So
Since he had
yeah.
won it. That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Right.
I didn't know he
Right.
had been.
Yes.
This year was a special cause for him to come and celebrate that young man as
Yes.
he won the award.
Yeah. I want to say congratulations to Travis Hunter too for winning that award. And with all his accomplishments, I just read yesterday that he maintained a 4.0 GPA in the classroom after playing both offense, defense, and special teams throughout the year. That's
Absolutely.
amazing feat.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Amazing.
It is.
that's great.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely wonderful and incredible athlete
Yes.
and a wonderful person.
Yes.
Good
Mhm.
for him. That's great.
Yes.
And good for Coach Prime
Yes.
for what the exposure he's bringing to those young men.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
saw, and it's changing the subject a little bit, not Christmas related. I saw where Michael Vick is being considered for a head coaching position.
be
I
a
think in
coach.
Sacramento State or somewhere.
That's
That
right.
would be awesome. It's like Coach Prime has opened the door for other former athletes to become head coaches, and that's exciting.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it is. Yeah, it is. That's great.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Glad for him.
Love Michael Vick.
I do too. I do
Mhm.
too. It's one of my favorite players.
Santa, do
Okay.
you have another song you could sing for us? Maybe your favorite or your favorite Christmas song, one or the other?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Glad to do so. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. No hell, no hell, no hell, no hell. Born is the King of Israel. No hell, no hell, no hell, no hell. Born is the King of Israel.
All right.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Great.
Santa.
You're
you,
so welcome. 'Tis the season.
Just the season.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Absolutely.
Anybody got anything else? Okay.
Santa, I have a, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Go ahead, Barbara.
I just had a special request. I want to sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Oh, how wonderful. One of my absolute favorite.
Okay.
I'm ready. Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings of Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. We'll bring us some figgy pudding and bring it right now. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right. Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Santa.
Merry Christmas. Beautiful, beautiful voice, Barbara Wallace.
Thank you,
I
sir.
thought you were talking to me.
Absolutely, Tom. You have a wonderful voice too. One that
I
only
don't want to make a lie out of it now, Santa.
a voice only Santa could love.
There you go. Okay. Anybody else got anything? Michael, Barbara, or Santa?
I just want to say thank you, Santa, for coming and bringing us some cheer and your words of wisdom and all that you do for everyone.
Exactly.
Yes, I was going to say the same. Thank you so much, Santa, for coming this morning and perking me up. I needed that extra cheer this morning, so thank you so much, and wish everyone a wonderful and prosperous Christmas.
Awesome.
I think several people needed the cheering up. Matter of fact, I'd like to just read some of the names of the people in the chat, just so we can recognize some people.
Yes.
Raymond Crump, Raymond, hope you have a good holiday, man. Barbara Miller, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Gloria Owens, Merry Christmas to you. We talked about Cam's and his suits. Antley say he's taking his wife to Hawaii for Christmas.
Wonderful.
Jalen Jackson, of course, Anthony and his wife, and there's several others on here. Pat Eddington, people who we generally have with us throughout the year, and we appreciate you all being with us. Appreciate what you do to contribute to the success of the show. So is there, let's see, I've got some names here. Anthony Tedeschi, Laurie Lukes Lohman, Pat Eddington, and some of the other names. Geraldine Jackson, Glorious, Sandra Donaldson, Barbara Miller, Dixon Gossam. Okay, man, I love you too. And so on and so forth. So anything else from anybody? So we
Thank you
will
so
not
much.
be here next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Nathaniel. I know you got to run for something, so we don't want to keep Santa away from what he has to do today. So thank you so much, Santa. We appreciate you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for the whole Tuesdays with Tom family. Merry Christmas. to
Merry
all.
Christmas.
Okay. Before we go, let's see. All right. Well, we're moving on. So I want to thank all of those who have sent well wishes throughout the year and Christmas wishes during this holiday season. And I mentioned some of these names before, but Anthony Tedeschi, Mr. and Mrs., Laurie Lukes Lohman, Raymond Crump, Pat Eddington, and some of the others who had. I want to thank our G-list guest, Nathaniel Rutledge, Santa Claus. We appreciate you, man. You're wonderful. And just hopefully we'll keep this going. Thank our sponsor, Best Girl Inc. Thanks again to the TWT team. Barbara, Sean, Emily, and Michael, and Joyce. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And that's it for this December the 17th. Remember, a day without a smile is a day wasted. If you got an extra one, give it to someone else today. It makes somebody else's day. Believe me, it can. Enjoy yourself. Make every day count. Stay safe. Peace.